Hello, and welcome to the Director's Cut of Yi Jing Season 1, the finale. I'm Rok, the director of Season 1, and like before, me and Fifi will be giving you some insight in the making of Episode 3, Dream On. We have reached the end of Season 1, and this episode has been one of the most ambitious we did yet. It is a massive one and has quite the emotional importance to all of us in the Yi Jing team. So let's dive in one more time into the backstage of Yi Jing. With every episode, we were pushing our limitations, and we wanted to raise the bar with every new introduction of the episodes. Starting with quite a simple setup, and then getting to having a physical set, this time we pushed the physical boundaries of the production and dove into the world of CGI to represent Yi Jing in this new world. Here's Fifi telling more about the project again, and what were her first initial concept ideas for Yi Jing.
I think there's beauty in things that are finite, and the art that we make within the finite limit becomes infinite, and that's why we do what we do. I think the significance of Yi Jing Season 1 is the experimentation and the courage of making something for the world to see from a thought turn into reality. There's a lot of experimentation at the beginning, not knowing, but the courage to do it anyway, and the maturity within a very small space of time. We tried to exceed ourselves and not knowing if we could do it, and by achieving it, there is the satisfaction and the fulfillment of doing so. And we get scared of how are we going to do the next one that's even be better than this one. And the third episode was to go all out, to give everything that we have. There is a lot of emotional element to it that we have to conclude and celebrate and farewell to what we have created. 60 minutes of music video of a live performance. This episode was the closest to my initial vision for Yi Jing, which is closer to a short film kind of format. So I had to act a little bit, and we have to do extra B-rolls.
Compared to episode 2, some of the sets were quite minimal, but that was due to the fact that we were going to add a lot of special effects and CGI elements to help with the visual experience. This time, we used various props such as a green sphere, green screen, even wind and water. So let's have a closer look at individual songs and how the performances and editing pulled the whole show together.
The episode starts with intro of Alchemist. The name for that is called I Refuse to Break Down. That is a part of the bridge monologue in my upcoming album. And the video is done by Z and followed by Alchemist music video. The intro, I Refuse to Break Down, is talking about in the midst of my journey, there are times of fatigue, sorrow, and countless challenges, hardship, and internal struggles. I tell myself to get up every time, and I refuse to break down. I refuse to break down. I hate to turn around. In Alchemist, I'm talking about how do I turn base metal into gold, implying how do I turn my suffering and these hardship into transcendence. In the song I said, I asked for all this pain to become the alchemist, not because I like torture, self-torture, or addicted to pain. It's because we can't avoid it, but we can interpret it in whichever way we have the freedom to interpret it. So in my sense, in order for my soul to grow in this earthly school, I need the pain to transcend into a certain level of maturity to be calm and realize the diamond that's inside. Like they say, no pressure, no diamond. And in this episode, we have the live version with the CGI seeing the light in this song. And I wanted to make it super special for the people who are here first to listen to this song first, way before its release later in the year. I really like the fact that in live version, I can sing in a different version to the recording. In my recording, songs are usually very zen and very peaceful, very intimate, whereas with live version, I can use more diaphragm, I can go higher, I can do an alternative version, go octave up or something like that with more hype to the song.
One of the key lyrics of the song was the light. So during the visual concept development of the episode, we were thinking of what could be the best way to represent that. The idea was to introduce a glowing sphere that Fifi would interact with. In reality, we used a green painted sphere that was suspended from the set's frame. This allowed Fifi to interact with it, and later in post, I added all of the special effects that brought the whole idea to life and lifted the visual experience of the song. Interesting fact, it took me nearly 12 hours just to make this glowing sphere special effects and incorporate it in the video, but in the end, it was totally worth every minute.
I hear the whisper in my ears, it makes my body go crazy.
Now the transition from Alchemist to Way Out was beyond my imagination, and then that's created by the vision of Rok and Ruji. So I had to do some acting directed by Rok, and when I saw the result, I was blown away. It's the first time I officially released a song in English and Chinese version, and that gave me the confidence and the idea of making my current upcoming big album, There's a Funeral in My Heart for Every Man I Loved, into the Chinese version. Way Out follows Alchemist very well in its theme because it's another soulful question that I had, talking about what is the way out for my soul, for my purpose and meaning. And the answer is there is always a calling, whether or not you listen to it. In critical moments in our lives, we can choose to hide from our soul's purpose, or we can dig a little bit deeper to hear why are you here, what you're here for. And I asked this question for 2 years in my early 20s, and realizing that there is no way out except that I answer my calling, which is to pursue the only thing that scared me for over a decade, that I was hiding from. And the consequence is a life of misery if I don't follow what my heart tells me to do.
Only thing that gets me high, we know it's true. I swear the longest way is the only way out, that's for sure.
Way Out was actually my introduction to Fifi's music when I discovered her on Spotify around a year ago. So for me to have the song in the season finale is like a full circle, and I was so excited about it. As a team, we always knew that Way Out will be all about the electric neon colors on the set and on Fifi. But we couldn't think of a way how to connect Alchemist and Way Out together, and what could be a good transition. Alchemist is quite a slow song, and Way Out is basically the complete opposite. After a lot of thinking, I came up with this idea of the sphere from Alchemist exploding with this mysterious creature appearing from it and consuming Fifi into this new world. Close attention paying viewers might have recognized the vortex and sphere before the hand appears is the same one from Gloomy Sunday in episode 1. This is one of the moments where I wanted to make this connection to the previous episode, thus visually connecting the season. Performance was emphasized with neon lights, makeup, and our multi-skilled production assistant Ruji's dancing together with Fifi. The camera movement was also responding to Fifi's movement, and various glitch effects allowed us to bring this electronic type of music performance to the next level.
Whatever Counts is the most requested song from the members. It's a song that came from one of the Pledge Music crowdfunding campaigns, my collaboration with Mark Rose. And the song, the chord progression came from him, and the basic production came from him. And I put some fairy dust on the production and hyped it up to make it really massive. I wrote the song to his chords, and I have to say the beauty of this song really has come down to the bone structure, which is the chord progression. In my career so far, I have collaborated with countless people, so when I finished writing this song, I didn't know it was anything special, but the feedback from you guys and people around slowly made me see that it has something special about it. I often jokingly say it will take about 5 years detachment from my work to actually realize what I've done. So a big part of what I do is channeling work that I'm not aware, and is a sense of service and making people feel in a certain way, that to give this music to people who find a value in it.
So afraid to live a life.
For me, Future Never Comes is epic and mysterious, and this was something I wanted to translate across with the song. Initially, I was imagining grand settings and locations, but due to various limitations, I came up with this alternative concept, and that's how the whole idea of magical enchantress hands came to my mind. The set itself was quite simple, creating the illusion of forced perspective. So for epic chorus moments in the song, we filmed Fifi separately doing various combinations with her hands that led to this great visual look of her being put under the spell as she performs through the song. This is one of the beauties of Yi Jing, where with quite simple tools we were able to elevate the whole performance and the visual experience of the show.
Dream On is one of my favorite songs on the album. I wrote this song quite a while ago, and I was just waiting for the opportunity for it to come out. And in the last 5 years, I've collected all the best love songs that I've written and make into this double album. This is something that I'm really proud of. I love everything about the song, especially the lyrical poetry in the song. You might notice the writing style is different from my usual songs. And then this one is more lyrically brutal and using a lot of metaphor and also direct. It's the first time that I say the words "I love you" in the song. In popular songs writing, everything has been said a million times, but it's all about finding new ways to say things that triggers the emotion that has been with us since the beginning of time.
Dream On was added to the set list pretty much at the last minute compared to the other songs, as this was due to celebrate the release of Fifi's latest single. After speaking with Fifi, it was felt within the whole team that the element of water is the right fit for the song. As a result, we put Fifi in a place surrounded by various drapery, representing the softness and the flexibility of water. In terms of effects, what you see in the show, there are basically no video effects apart from few lens flares. All of the lighting, water running in front of the camera are all practical effects. Rouge was using a blue gel sheet to create the water ripple effects on Fifi, and for the water, we had a glass frame fixed in front of one of the cameras, onto which I was spraying water during the performance. It was one of the most intense sets we had to this day, where every single member of the team had a full-on task to carry out. And not to forget to mention, it was one of the wettest sets we had to this day. I couldn't be happier with the way Dream On came out, as it translated perfectly the dreamy feeling and the soft atmosphere the song represents.
Destruction to get through to you. You can't come.
Finally, we have Upstream, which is recommended by Rok, our director, hoping to leave the final episode of this season on a very high and positive and powerful note. My career, I spent a big chunk of time swimming upstream, doing the things against my soul due to my lack of confidence and deep insecurity. I was easily swayed and easily listened to ill advice that doesn't resonate with my soul, and the result is depression, anxiety, and getting drained of my creativity. And again, at that point, it's another lesson to learn that I needed to listen to my own heart, my own truth, and swim downstream. But it took a lot of courage, because that was one of the hardest thing and hardest period that I had to get through to be okay and to find myself again and continue with my art. I was on the brink of giving up because I was so far gone, so scared, so isolated, and I got brave because it was too painful, and I had to stand up for myself and then get rid of the negative influence in my life. And that lesson gave me the most confidence that I have now to trust myself. That's a powerful lesson. We left it for the end of season 1, and hopefully with the story that you can hear the song on a new dimension.
I felt like Upstream was a great song to end the season with due to its message and the power it comes with. As it was the final song of the season, I wanted to present it as a recap of the whole season in one, and at the same time celebrate the work Fifi and the whole team did over the past 6 months of the production of Yi Jing. I wanted the set to look alive, so I used a fan controlled by Ruji to make the fabrics, the lights, and Fifi's clothes blow in the wind. In post-production, I used moments from previous episodes as overlays to remember what has been done before, ending in the ultimate culmination of Yi Jing. For me, this performance is quite emotionally loaded. Months of work, dedication, creativity, and teamwork come down to this very final performance, and I'm so proud of everyone in the team who were with us. This time, there are no visual cliffhangers, only just Fifi's farewell and final words.
Don't take me upstream. Don't take me upstream. My passion burning deep. My world is
Season 1 has come to an end, but to quote Fifi, this is only the beginning of so much more. Yi Jing will be back. As the director of Season 1, I personally want to thank you for joining and supporting us during Season 1. Your contributions and love for this project led us to bring Yi Jing to this very moment. I hope you will be with Yi Jing in the next season and allow for it to grow into something bigger. So, thank you for answering the calling of Yi Jing and coming through.
I want to thank you so much for making it happen for us. Without you, this wouldn't have been possible. With the core support of you guys, I have made my vision into reality. And thanks to my team who are tirelessly worked on the project without any financial incentives. We just wanted to make art. It's all for the labor of our love. I want to thank my team very, very much. It wouldn't be possible to see the light of day without my team. Especially, I want to thank you who bought the tickets and who joined the membership, to give us the encouragement and the lovely feedback and the energy to keep going. So thank you so much. that I hope you stay on my journey, Yi Jing's journey, and see how the future unfolds and see how we as artists transform and take it to the next level and evolve. And I hope that you stay in tune, and we will see you in the next season.